Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Welcome to the home of the Wells Fargo Championship, where the likes of Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and long-hitting J.B. Holmes have all won. It was first opened for play in 1961. It has really grown through the years, and it is now played by the best in the world. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Let's jump down to the golf course. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5. His second shot. Oh, not what you want here, Frank. Sit down.
This is out of...
Frank, you just hit one in the water. You don't want to compound the mistake. What's the mindset here?
This one right here, you've got to forget that big blue oasis in front of you.
So the previous shot into the drink. This now the fourth shot. And we went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is. Just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Frank, this is his sixth shot here.
Well, this is the difference between the good players and the great players.
Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
Had been playing reasonably well. It's getting away right here. The eighth shot on the way.
Well, you could say the horse has already bolted. Now, I mean, the best he can get away with is still going to be a bad score.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Players.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, that golf ball's sitting up like a red velvet cake in a bakery. It looks pretty, doesn't it?
Time to take a bite of it. Savor it. Hit the next one close.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Still playing even for the day after the par. Seventh hole here at TPC Sawgrass generally plays into the wind, one of the stadium course's most difficult greens to hit, Frank.
It's a really weird tee shot here. You have those three little pot bunkers down the right, and then that bunker that meanders once again all the way down the left side. The bunker that's just slightly right of the canal. Very awkward angle off the tee.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. And he's made the green. Locked in on the read and the speed. That is a painful bogey at the seventh hole. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Just a shade over par, +1. TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole. Well, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. Just a couple of feet. That is another bogey. It's getting messy, Frank.
Ouch.
Frank, the 9th is really a good par 5, isn't it?
There's so many options here. Just play it away, sort of 3-wood it down there, then go to the right and sort of wedge it on the green. But it's very tempting, especially in the right wind conditions. And that's if they're coming over your shoulder for a right-hander from right to left. Then this par 5 is very reachable.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Headed for the bunker. He in the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Getting some sand in the shoes now. For a second straight hole, he's in the bunker. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Getting set now for the back 9 here at TPC Sawgrass. Frank, what should we expect?
Well, there's a good run of holes. 10, obviously very birdieable. 11th, the par 5. 12th, a short par 4. A good chance to get this round really going.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right. So that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. That's a par. Stays at +2. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now.
Hello, person just joined. Welcome to my live stream.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second round coverage of the players.
great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Headed for the bunker, I think. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
All right, so green side bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
A good effort, a good par putt. Frank, this is a hole that I really like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
You come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s at TPC Sawgrass, the green actually plays much smaller than what it looks because of that narrow entry.
And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side, the 583-yard par 5 ninth?
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2. But you can make an absolute mess here at 9.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Tug that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your 3rd shot.
Yeah, well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
These are the kind of putts that keep a round going about 10 feet away for par.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Frank getting set now for one of the more exciting back nines in all of golf right here at TPC Sawgrass.
And it starts at 10. It looks like a dog leg to the left, really, but you've got to play it as a straightaway tee shot. Run out just over 310 yards. After that good tee shot, Rich, it's time to take full advantage of it.
And this is one where he can really go after the whole location and maybe think about making birdie. Wow, really off the mark. Missed the green here. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Clean this up with a tap. Cleans that up in the hole. Now the time to be aggressive. Par 5, 558-yard, 11th hole, Frank. What's the key here?
Tee it high and let it fly. This is the big chance here. This is one of the widest fairways on the golf course. This is where you chance it all.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike, where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
No question. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Now the approach to the 12th, Frank. What's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par.
A very quick exit miscut. Not the only one there, but surprising.
The weekend now to regroup. Just didn't hit many good shots.
Welcome to my live stream.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Peach Invitational. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Strong winds continue to be a factor. Frank, I know you've played all over the world. How much did you enjoy the challenge of playing into a stiff breeze?
Well, it was a chance to separate yourself from the rest of the field, Rich. Just like these conditions we're seeing right now. You've really got to be smart. Pick the right shot. If you get too aggressive on a day like today, you'll pay a far more severe price than normal.
Club selection obviously is crucial.
Oh, it's imperative today.
Take an extra club or two, choke down.
Very much so.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about...
Just keeping the leaders within sight, Frank.
Doing a good job, really. Leaders at the moment, they seem to be in a playing to a different level, but top 10, be interesting over these next few holes.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. And he's made the green. Shouldn't be a problem here.
No mistake made there with the par.
Hole number 3 is a par 4. It's only 390 yards. Frank, what do you think the right club selection is off the tee?
Majority of players hit like 3-wood off the tee here. It's a little ambitious with a driver because you don't get any real advantage getting that much closer to the green. If you can carry that right bunker and keep the ball in the fairway, you're still going to be left with a full short iron, whether it's a wedge or a 9-iron. And that's a scoring club.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. And getting ready for the putt. Wow, I didn't expect that. So they'll tap in. That's a par, but that is also second place.
That's right. Birdies are being made elsewhere.
Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. Early in the round, and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
This requires a lot of speed to the ball. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Trying to grind out a par here. Needs it. Wow, that's disappointing. Chance to get too deep on one hole, and you leave it short.
Well, the good thing is he didn't miss it, right? It didn't go past the miss. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Okay. Still has a chance for birdie, too.
Right, okay. I like that. It's a positive attitude.
Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. So long for now. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Peach Invitational. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
East Lake Golf Club was named the permanent home of the Tour Championship by Coca-Cola back in 2005. It is the final event of the PGA Tour playoffs for the FedEx Cup, with only the top 30 players on the points list qualifying each year. Well, that's how you play the game, right there.
Even par currently.
Oh, I thought he had that.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Has his par. 11th hole here at East Lake is just 197 yards. Frank, where's the trouble at this par 3?
More at the front, Rich. You can see why high soft landing shots are well rewarded at 11. Very tight in front of the screen and then starts to widen up. This is another one that's about distance control, iron play. The par 3s here at East Lake are wonderful.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
That's good work right there. Just a tap in. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
A little bit more hope and determination in that putt.
Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This case of anything that could go wrong, not just probably, it did.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
120 yards. Headed for the bunker? Just a bit offline and into the bunker. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. This is a par 4 that will test the players. 476 yards, the 13th hole. And Frank, it's a good driving hole.
It certainly is. It plays closer to 500 yards because you're going uphill. Avoid the 2 bunkers on the left. That's a given there. You can see those off the tee. And that second shot, make sure you take enough club to carry that bunker on the left.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target.
Backing up that long 13th hole, we now arrive at the 14th, and this too is a challenging par 4, Frank.
Tough fairway to hit because of the pitch from the left side of the fairway to the right side of the fairway. No fairway bunkers to worry about, but if you watch the Tour Championship over the years, you'll find the majority of the field live in that right rough. It's the most difficult part of playing this downhill par 4.
Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. Wasn't that hard a shot.
And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Good effort and good par putt.
Well, early exit for one of what I thought Rich was going to be the favorite, but their week's over.
Numbers don't lie in this case, in this sport, and now a missed cut. EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
No, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's no snack, though.
Bit of a stumble out of the gates, Frank.
Oh, very shaky, very shaky. So he's got to pull himself together right now.
So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Frank, you well know the U.S. Open is a thinking man's game, and this is a good example here, this short par 4 second hole.
It certainly is, Rich. It's not about length. It's not even about accuracy. It's about trying to pick the right shot, and the right shot is somehow finding that fairway between the left as it creeps in and the 6 bunkers on the right.
This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, maybe next time. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, Frank, he'll drop at least one shot here. That was not his best effort.
No, poor is the easiest way to put that. He knows it.
+2 already. Frank, this hole, the third at 428 yards, has been a part of the U.S. Open story for a long time, for obvious reasons.
It's just a great par 4. It's a typical U.S. Open par 4 that challenges in between the ears as well as the swing and the execution itself. The second shot, slightly uphill. You've really got to break this green into 2 sections. That ridge in the middle, anything past that, everything funnels off and towards the back of the screen. Anything short of that, well, it actually goes towards the front side. So very difficult from tee all the way through to the green.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his middle.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Take no pleasure in saying it, but it's a fact. It's a double bogey. Now to the par 5 fourth. It is 609 yards. Frank, this has been pivotal in past U.S. Opens.
Yeah, it certainly has. A good drive here, there's a chance to go for the par 5 and 2. A bad drive here, finding the church pews or the bunkers on the right. More often than not, you're pitching out sideways. Totally different proposition.
Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
The second shot. And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Bit surprising. Misses the green in regulation here at the par 5.
Yeah, you'd think this is one of the easier holes on the golf course. So now just trying to avoid 6.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? From about 8 feet. Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the 4th. This would be a good time to reverse the slide. 5 over par on the day. Well, the good short par 4 has become standard at most modern U.S. Opens. Here's an example, Frank, 382-yard 5th.
Yeah, this is where you have to play the percentages. If you're going to play a hole 4 times, if I put myself in the fairway 4 times with a long iron, will I play the hole under par? That's the strategy here.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens and getting ready for the putt. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Good putt. Well, not an especially good start to the tournament, Frank, through one round. They might be in jeopardy of missing the cut.
And they have to remember right now it's just one round, and they are, as you were saying, in the outside looking right in at the moment. But you never know. I've seen golf tournaments won from further back than this.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship.
That's fine.
Frank, when I think about a U.S. Open, I think of 5-footers for bogey being as important as a 5-footer for birdie at most other tournaments.
Yeah, and I think that's why when you look at the list of great U.S. Open champions, the names of Ben Hogan's come out, tough character from Fort Worth. Jack Nicklaus, the greatest achiever in the game. Tiger Woods at his best. U.S. Opens, to win multiple U.S. Opens, it just takes a very, very rare character.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That's as bad as I have seen. Folks, that one is now on the fringe.
I need to... Right.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. Second shot here at the par 4 7th. That ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, he has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
On YouTube, that's it. I'll see you next video.